While others are barely surviving, starving multiple times a day and avoiding the bathroom for days, Brent is living the high life. He's enjoying roasted meat every meal, turning leftovers into smoked meat, and sipping coconut water whenever he's thirsty. Is this survival or a vacation? By day 11, Kara and Nain have left Brent and are searching for a beach. Exhausted and starving, Kara feels like she's about to collapse. Nain gives her a can of water and takes good care of her. Previously, Nain's failure to care for his family had led to his teammates quitting. So this time, he is determined not to lose another partner. They even make a pact to find jobs together on 58.com after the competition. After resting, they continue their journey. In the mangroves, Kara smells smoke, and they eventually meet up with Justin's group. Nain and Kara successfully join them. Nain reunites with his wife and children, and if it weren't for the crowd, they would have already started their duet of artistic movements. Nain curiously asks why there are only 2 people, and his wife briefly explains the situation and why Candace quit. Kara also shares their story. Kara and Nain had run away together, and now Chill was injured and needed their help. Kara was shocked. After all their effort, there was no meat to greet them, and they had to care for an injured person. But Nain saw it differently. Chill was his teammate last season, and he was set on making it up to him. He pointed to the sea, saying it would be their new workplace. Justin was also pleased, hoping they could help gather more food. Meanwhile, Brent continued his solo mission to catch the wild boar, which kept avoiding his trap. Brent sets up the trap again where the boar usually passes. With a trap like that, he thinks he can catch a wild boar? At this point, I can't tell who the real pig is. Even the boar would call Brent a pig if it saw this. On day 12, Andrew's group's beach is gradually getting flooded. Most of the area is starting to submerge, meaning Andrew's group will soon need a new shelter. With the water rising like this, they might be sleeping in it tonight. Trick doesn't want to move. Although the high tide is bad, it brings a lot of food, and he doesn't want to lose the resources here. However, Amber thinks that if their fire gets flooded, they'll be back to the Stone Age. Andrew and Amber want to move, but Trick is focused on finding food. Amber tasted the water they collected today, and it's already salty. The rising tide has contaminated their fresh water source. They don't know what to do next and need to come up with a new plan quickly. Without water, they won't survive for long. Nain asked Chill what they had eaten. Justin mentioned they only had sea snails and hermit crabs, leaving everyone starving. He suggested waiting for the tide to go out before searching for food, but Kara insisted they needed protein immediately to recover from their long journey. When the tide receded, they foraged on the shore, gathering more sea snails and hermit crabs. Unfortunately, these crabs were tiny and insufficient to feed everyone. Today's haul was just a third of yesterday's, and everyone was struggling. Trick caught a fish and brought it back, but Amber broke the bad news, asking him to taste the collected water. Their fresh water was gone, and they needed a new source. It seemed Trick had to choose between food and fresh water. He knew there was fresh water at the end of the beach and planned to explore there. The group mainly relied on Trick for food, while Amber and Andrew played poker in the shelter after eating their fill. Amber and Andrew only needed fresh water. If fresh water can be found, moving is a minor issue. Trick goes out alone to search for fresh water. He knows what his teammates are worried about, but he's used to handling emergencies. Surviving with such teammates is truly a blessing. Trick discovers many coconut trees with plenty of coconuts. The beach is quite beautiful, but Trick doesn't find fresh water here. These coconuts are enough to last them until day 21. Trick returns to share the news with his teammates. Meanwhile, Justin's group has started lunch, but what's in the pot is far from enough. Why can't they catch any fish? Even in a resource-rich mangrove, they couldn't find anything, proving that unskilled players would go hungry anywhere. Brent, exploring near the shelter, found an iron rod and planned to turn it into a weapon for hunting wild boars, hoping for a hearty meal. When Trick returned, he told his teammates there was no fresh water but plenty of coconuts. They decided to move the shelter there, prioritizing fresh water. Trick agreed, and after some discussion, they plan to start early tomorrow. It's now day 13, and Nain and Justin are responsible for fetching water every day. Although they're not affected by the rising tides here, the water source is a 20-minute walk from the shelter. This daily trek is wearing Nain out. Nain thinks the shelter's location isn't great and plans to build a raft to travel along the coastline. This might be a good way out since they can't get food here. Justin agrees with Nain's idea, mainly to take care of the injured Chill. Andrew's group has already started moving. Trick and Andrew are carrying all their belongings to the spot Trick discovered yesterday under the coconut trees. It turns out the stick they found is for picking coconuts. Andrew finally managed to get one down. Despite his size, he's passed on his knowledge to Amber. Although they have an abundance of coconuts, the coconut water is a diuretic, and drinking too much can lead to dehydration. Amber believes they can't rely on coconuts for long and need to find fresh water. When Nain and Justin return to the shelter, they share their plan to move to the beach, where there might be better resources, and they intend to build a raft to go out to sea. Everyone agreed with this suggestion. When the tide went out, Nain went to the beach to check the terrain. He wanted to find some driftwood. There were many bottles and a large plastic barrel. They collected as many large containers as possible to build the raft. Chill was doing what he could at the shelter, untying ropes for the team to use. With Nain and Kara joining, Chill saw a glimmer of hope. The path was full of rocks. The journey was tough. They gathered wood along the shore, which looked large but was surprisingly light, perfect for building a raft. Soon, they had a big pile. Meanwhile, Brent was lying in his shelter when a wild boar appeared near the trap again. He soon heard the sound of the wire sliding. This boar really didn't know what was coming. Brent knew its time was up when he heard the squeals nearby. On the morning of the 14th day, Brent woke up knowing he had caught the boar. Now, he just needed to grab his weapon and finish the job. Luckily, his weapon was already prepared. Next up, a feast. It was time for pork. Brent checked the trap and found the boar dead, likely strangled by the wire. This boar weighed about 150 pounds, enough to last Brent 21 days. Now, he just needed to quickly deal with the boar's innards. Using a stone, Brent skinned the boar. One leg weighed around 30 pounds, perfect for smoking and preserving for a long time. Meanwhile, Andrew's group had a new plan. They decided to leave the beach and find a new shelter, heading north to make evacuation easier later. It was going to be a long hike. Only they would dare to do something like this. After living it up on the beach for so long, they packed up all their belongings and left. Andrew was empty-handed, Umbo wore a helmet, and only Tarek was loaded with bags. I really like players like Tarek. Tomorrow is the evacuation day, and Chill's leg still shows no signs of improvement. Today, they need to build a raft, which requires a lot of rope. Kara sat on the beach untying ropes. They planned to use large plastic barrels as the core flotation and then tie driftwood around them to make the raft.
Man, he's just
basically,
I feel like he just
Nain was
wants
doing
to
all the
himself,
work while Kara and Justin rested in the shade.
Despite
Nain working so hard, some people had
himself.
different ideas. Fortunately, Jara, Nain's partner, was there to help him out. Joining Justin's group didn't bring any benefits. Meanwhile, Brent had a lot of pork, more than he could eat. He made the excess into smoked jerky. With so much meat, he didn't know how to eat it all. Brent cut off a piece of roasted meat, which was very tough and hard to tear, but he said it was delicious. After not having meat for over 10 days, it tasted amazing. He had been too hungry to even go to the bathroom before, but now he planned to eat his fill and finally relieve himself. Brent was undoubtedly the most comfortable now. Andrew's group had been gone for over 3 hours. Navigating the mangrove area is a nightmare. You can easily get your feet pricked. The dense jungle is equally terrifying, with bees ready to sting at every step. There are also plenty of crocodiles in the water. Terry felt something bump his stick. Amber's journey has been incredibly tough, as everything here is dangerous. Nain's group finally finished building the raft and successfully floated on it. Nain is undoubtedly the hero of the day. With this raft, Chill can leave the island, but Kara, who worked alongside them, feels a bit jealous. Jealous of Nain's favoritism towards Chill, Nain went back to the shelter to inform Chill and helped him onto the raft. This special treatment made Justin and Kara envious. Nain even arranged a unique spot for Chill, which moved Chill so much that he almost wanted to give Nain his first blood right there. This made the other teammates feel awkward. Kara, as Nain's teammate, probably turned into the queen of jealousy, thinking, I ran away with you, and now you're here flirting with someone else, treating other teammates like ex-wives and me like a mistress? Chill, meanwhile, cried even more, and the more he cried, the more Nain doted on him. The tension was so thick that if they didn't leave soon, they might end up playing poker with Nain all night. But Chill, aware of his own limitations, chose to quit the competition to avoid burdening Nain. All of Nain's efforts for Chill were in vain. Losing Chill again was a devastating blow for Nain. What other thrilling challenges await them? Stay tuned for the next episode.